And welcome back to the First and Goal podcast. My name is Lewis. Next to me, as always, is my beautiful co-host Laraib. As we are here recapping Week 14 of the 15 of the NFL season. Why are the Broncos? Oh, never mind. Scratch that. Scratch that. Every team has had a bye, so we are now in the final stretch of the NFL season. Pretty bad week of football. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, in terms of just the injuries, right? Like we're hitting the home stretch of the season and all these really pivotal players going down at really crucial points in the season. It was a really tough week. Obviously Parsons and Mahomes tearing their ACLs, and then Devontae Adams with a hamstring, other guys going down. Just tough outlook going forward into the rest of the season, but the playoff picture is shaping up and into form, so that's really exciting as we get through. This stretch is always pretty tough for the NFL because you have the holidays, a lot of things going on. It's easy to get distracted, but once
College
those
football
playoffs start,
playoffs. Okay, so you will watch college football all year long. But when it comes time for the playoffs, it's time to go to sleep.
I'm an LSU fan. I'm not unless it's like some crazy like you got to see it type game. Like I mean, you're not. Oh, hey, Washington, Oregon. It's a really interesting former Pac-12 matchup in the Big Ten now. Like tune in. Uh-uh. And also real quick on college football because this episode I already know it's going off the rails. So if tune in for a fun one. I'm delirious right now. Um, this like the Heisman's were announced right last Saturday, and Fernando Mendoza won. Couldn't tell you. I didn't watch a single second of him. You're like, oh, Lewis, he was in the Big Ten championship. Like, why didn't you tap in? Didn't want to. Um, I haven't seen much of this guy. I don't know if it's a physical thing with him. I don't think so. He looks like a pretty normal dude. Like he doesn't really pan out to be like a like you want to have that one overall pick this year. You want to be able to draft Fernando Mendoza. Like I want to see if you're going to look like a normal old dude playing normal old football. We saw this with Cam Ward last year, right? You need to wow me with your stats. Like, whoa, this guy is insane. Um, and he just no one really wowed me. Unless you're like a physical monster, and it's like this dude is a project, like, but he could really be something on the next level. I'm not buying it, right? I don't love any of these quarterbacks in this draft, like Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, like pass, right? I don't know. That's why, and those ever not those big superstars in college football. Kind of goes with college basketball as well, right? Like, oh, this huge guy is making his way through. Like, he got to see it's must watch. Last year, Cooper Flag, right? It was must watch Duke. They were a really fun team. But whenever there's not that guy that you really want to watch, college football doesn't really interest me. I don't know. Thoughts?
I don't watch college in the first place because I think it's just not as entertaining.
Amateur?
One, not as professional, obviously as in the NFL, and honestly, not as competitive either. I mean, you and I have our running joke of, look, there was a one score game in all of college football in the 70 games that were played this past weekend. I just don't think it's as fun to watch. Obviously, it's a lot more offense oriented and no huge flashy plays and guys going for long touchdowns constantly, but it's just something I never really got into. Even being from Louisiana and having LSU be dominant at most of the time that I was there, it was just something I didn't like. And so I'm going to stick with the NFL. They keep things professional on
Well,
this side. They keep it,
structured, right? Like it's
yeah, a little
easy
more
to
structure.
pay attention to college football. I mean, to the NFL because every team's following by the same salary cap. They have the same schedule where everyone's graded on the same exact curve. Whereas, oh wow, JMU had this awesome season and now they made the playoff. And what are we gonna watch on Saturday? We're gonna watch them get absolutely freaking rolled by, I don't know, Oregon. Like, I wonder what the line is for that game. 27 and a half for a playoff game. Like, there's just teams playing on way different payrolls, way different opportunities than other teams. Even the teams who you think are pretty good. Like, oh, hey, this team had a really good year. That's it. That's the next 10 years are gonna suck, right? Like they had their flash in the pan season, like Washington, right? They went to the national championship. Oh wow, look at this fun Washington team. They're done now, right? That their head coach got poached by a bigger fish. and they're just going to suck for the next 10 years. Oops. I don't like that. Even as an LSU fan where I've seen the heights of the highs, right, as a fan, it feels kind of scummy, right? I like the everything makes sense. It's all structured in the NFL. So that's
I
why when
mean,
LSU's playing well, I'll tune in, but when not, nah.
they're so I guess to that point, that's what the NCAA is trying to do, is trying to structure it that way where it's like, oh, we're breaking down the Pac-12 and we're just gonna have these teams join these other conferences. Texas is gonna go to the SEC now, and we're gonna see this bigger conference. And I guess they'll continue to dissolve those conferences until we have just a couple big super conferences, sort of like the NFL.
But are we going to get
Um,
like an NIL salary cap, restrictions on paying players, alumni involvement, boosters, right? Because even if you have two super conferences, let's say the Big Ten and the SEC, it's just like NFC, AFC, right? Is Purdue going to have the same payroll as Florida? Is Mississippi State going to have the same payroll as Michigan or Penn State? Like, no. So how are we going to even that out? And that's when it just that's what kills me.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
college football. But I guess one silver lining is things turn around really, really fast. I guess that's one good part of the
shout out
college.
Lane Kiffin. Welcome to the Bayou. All right, Laura. Well, I guess we did picks last week. I
Mm, Let me go ahead and pull those picks
we can
up
move
while we're
past
on
them
our
real quick.
tangent. While you were so confident in winning this past week, that was not the case. A 4-point drubbing, you could call it. And I've been
Oh,
hot with those upsets. I mean, last 3 weeks they have banged Houston, Dallas, Chargers. Oh, actually, last 4 weeks, Houston twice, no, sorry. Last 3 weeks, Houston twice and the Chargers. I've been rolling. And now we separated by 1 point. And so I know you are, oh, I just need one win not to lose, but
just need one.
I know that booty hole is clenched for these
Loose
final
as
three
ever.
weeks. Hey, clenched.
I just took a popper. That loose as ever. Just going over some of these games quickly that obviously I missed. I mean, Detroit was really hanging in there, and especially in the beginning of the game, it looked like they could have pulled it through, but just completely ran out of gas, could not run the ball whatsoever. And then just a rough week for me in general, right? Cincinnati, we both picked. That was just brutal. Kansas City, I'm glad Mahomes. I mean, let me rephrase what I'm about to say. It sucks that Mahomes got hurt, right? But at least now I can just completely throw away the thought of picking them again this season, and I will stop walking in
Hey,
to
double
that
lock.
bear trap that is the Chiefs. They've done a lot of good for me on these picks and in the past, so it's hard to break away. But now it's easy, right? I can reshift my focus to the teams that actually matter, and I can start enjoying Chiefs free football going into the postseason. So this will
Well,
this
we'll
this
be
week
seeing them on
cleansed me.
Christmas, prime time.
Oh, and the Commanders.
Mm, thank
We
you,
can't flex that
NFL.
Netflix or really really bad football. Anyway, Laura,
Well, I
let's
can't
go.
believe you skipped over the biggest one, the New
Oh,
Orleans Saints, your Saints over the Panthers. That was a massive game, and you thought I was insane for picking Tyler Shuck. But what has the city of New Orleans told me? They are resilient, and they're going to continue to pull through on huge games just like that for the Panthers.
I want you to be 100% genuine right now. Tyler Shuck. Is he a flash in the pan? Does he show you real traits? What do you see from Tyler Shuck?
I like him. All right. I think he is doing a lot with very little in New Orleans. And if they can, get a good young running back in there, Alvin Kamara is on his way out the door, but I think he has a good connection with Juwan Johnson through college, and Chris Olave has been really good this year as well when he's played with Chuck. And so I think they're one or two more offensive weapons away from having someone in Shuck who can be, serviceable.
I I think the sample size is small, so I don't want to make any big conclusions. But I would not draft a quarterback next year. The thing that scares me with Chuck is all the injuries he suffered in college, and is that something that could creep back up, going into the future? He's pretty good about not taking hits, but just a guy who stands tall in the pocket, like you're gonna have those hits taken and especially at the end of that Panthers game, going for the slide at the end, knowing you're going to get railed, but you to get that extra 15 points, 15 yards, right, to get closer to field goal range. Just a ballsy, awesome play, and the way he played at the end of that game was pretty fantastic. So Tyler Shuck wowed me with his performance, and I think he's the best quarterback in the NFC South right now. Right
Ooh,
now. Right now.
I
Am
mean
I wrong?
that might not be a hot take. I think Baker has this injury of his that they have not disclosed to us is
He's hurt.
really,
He's
really
hurt.
affecting
Come
him.
on. He's hurt. It's his shoulder, it's his ribs. He's there's no way he's not. Anyway, that was my Tyler Shuck tangent. Rob, the main meat and bones. We're not doing Monday Night Football recap. I didn't watch the second night
Hey,
of the game.
Steel curtain, by the way.
Black
With
Chain
with no TJ Watt.
with no TJ Watt. He got Tyrod tailored by the Chargers team doctor. Actually flew out to Pittsburgh to stab him in the lung. Doesn't matter because they won the game, right? Tua is going to get benched the rest of the season, or at least Mike McDaniel is exploring that option. Coward.
Shout out
Um,
Skylar Thompson.
but the main thing is today, Larab, we're starting to kind of see the playoff picture form, right? There's still 3 weeks left. The seedings, the standings could change, but I feel like we have a pretty good grasp of the 14 teams who will make the playoffs. The two big teams in question who are on the outside looking in would be Detroit trying to still make a wild card push, and the Ravens in the AFC still looking for a the last battling for that AFC North. You could say the Panthers as well still battling for the NFC South. But what I saw from them Bryce Young is not making noise in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Hell, he could get to the NFC Championship. He could get to the Super Bowl. They're not winning. Sorry. It won't be because of him. Um, so now that we kind of have our 14 teams here, Larab, what I want to do is we want to pitch some matchups to each other. That potential wild card matchups that we find very intriguing for reasons that we really are excited for. Because the wild card, it's wild, right? If you think a matchup, oh, that team's got it, no big deal. It's any given Sunday, right? They could have a bad day, and then crazy matchups can happen. So the biggest matchup that I'm looking at here in the AFC potential 2-7 matchup Patriot or Texans at New England. I think Texans have been playing like the best team in the AFC for about 3 weeks now, and CJ Stroud's finally starting to put it together, coming off the injury, some just poor performance over the last year and a half. Really, these past 3 weeks, starting to pick it up, just getting a lot more confidence in the offensive system. They're running the ball a lot better. And if he can just play competent offensive football, this defense is the best in the NFL, bar none, and they are capable of shutting down any offense. And this Patriots offense had some big explosive runs against Buffalo last week. That's just not going to happen against the Texans. And you're definitely not going to hit those long, deep balls that Drake May's been so good at with how great the secondary is. So you're going to force Drake into a bunch of tough situations against that defense. And can the Texans offense do just enough to really put pressure and then give themselves some wiggle room in that game on the road? Vrabel, very familiar with playing the Texans when he was in Tennessee. There's some fun matchups there. If Will Campbell comes back, Will Campbell and this Patriots young offensive line going up against that ferocious D line. Um, Diggs facing his former team. There's some fun matchups there that I just think the overall football quality of that game is like AFC divisional round, AFC championship level, and we could potentially get it in the wild card round.
Yeah, out of all the matchups that you and I were talking about, this one definitely is at the top of the list for me. And I want to give a quick shout out to Ariante Green,
Shout out.
rookie left tackle for the Texans. He has really stepped it up midway through the season for them. And that's kind of why I really love the way they've been playing. And they've been able to start running the ball effectively in these last couple of games. Woody Marks, very, very solid. And then I want to give shout again to Jawar Jordan. Came in, had 100 yards on the ground. And like you mentioned, if CJ Stroud, if he can start moving the ball slowly and slowly, I think this Texans team, I said it last week, I think they're the best team in the AFC. And then on the other side, in the Patriots, a team who who has I mean, they've been tested a couple times, but a
We
test
knew this was
like
going to
this,
happen last week. I don't take a lot off the Patriots. They went up huge in that game and they couldn't really capitalize. Josh Allen did what Josh Allen, you can't expect the Patriots to sweep Josh Allen in Mike Vrabel's first year as the head coach, Drake May's really first full year starting. Uh, and for them to really show that they can hang in that game, honestly impressed me more than if they would have just had a blowout win.
mm, I mean,
Ah,
I
ah,
don't know.
ah.
They were up big because they were up big in that game, and they were able to run the ball in any which way they wanted, and they weren't able to pull it out.
Bill
And so,
Stacks.
in a game like this, I think it would be really fun to watch the young Drake May versus the young CJ Stroud. But it would come down to defense, in my opinion. I think the Texans obviously clear. I would lean Houston in this matchup. But I want to quickly flip it on over to the NFC, Lewis. My favorite matchup from the wild card weekend would be the 49ers traveling to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. And I think this 49ers team has been the most underrated team in the NFL this year, hands down. We talk about the NFC so much with the Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC West division, but nobody's talking about the 49ers and how well they've been playing, especially with Brock Purdy coming back from injury. And now if they went to Philadelphia, I'm telling you right now, I would pick the 49ers to beat the Eagles.
Whoa!
I think this Eagles team, there's just too much bad juju around the locker room, and I think they of course they got their back on track game against the Raiders, but this 49ers team, I know they got humbled with injuries early in the season, but I would trust their offense more than I would trust the Eagles. And then on the other side for the defense, I think this Eagles secondary can be exposed when you have the guy
Dory
from the
Jackson.
yeah, Dory Jackson out there, especially with Makuba going down with injury. I think they can be beat through the air, and then we know CMC is inevitable. I think this would be a really fun matchup where a lot of people would be leaning Eagles, but I think I would go 49ers.
I'd lean Eagles in that one, but I agree with a lot of your sentiments, right? This 49ers team, the biggest credit I want to give is to Robert Saleh and the performance he's really done all season long. No one's ever doubted him and his prowess as a defensive coach, defensive schemer. And when you lose the two best players on your team, basically the last I don't know, 7 years, and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, like everyone was like, all right, this is enough. Like, there's no way they can recover. But this defense is still playing really good football, albeit not against the greatest competition. But, even in some of these tight division games, right? They're still hanging in there, playing these offenses like tough enough to where their offense has a chance. They have explosive weapons, like you said. I mean, they have an explosive weapon in Christian McCaffrey. Their receivers are pretty bunk. But when Kittle plays, he's very effective. And Ricky Pearsall's in and out of the lineup. Juwan Johnson's at least consistent, I guess. Um, so they have options offensively. I don't know. This Eagles team, the reason why this game is watchable is because you have no idea what Eagles you're gonna get, what kind of crazy drama. I still believe there's a world where every week feels like absolute hell for Eagles fans, and they end up winning the Super Bowl. Like that's a possible scenario that I'm not going to count out. Now, I don't think they have it this year, but if these two teams were to match up, I'd still lean Eagles just because of the 49ers just do not have the horses, right? They've been skidding by against a pretty easy schedule so far. And, playing tough opponents, pretty tough, but they're just not going to have the gas come, divisional round, things like that to make a real playoff push. And I just think the Eagles are the more talented team. But I do agree with you. This is a super interesting matchup.
And then for my second AFC pick, I am gonna go a game that may or may not happen. It would be the Buffalo Bills going to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. A game that we would have thought would been, after week one, we would be so excited to have
Cinema.
in the wild card. But right now, I think um, Lamar kind of got back on track this past week, but this would be just a huge, legacy type of game with no Mahomes this year in the playoffs. It would be these two guys, especially with no Burrow, most likely in the playoffs. The two, the two giants left standing, the quarterback position in the AFC, going head to head in the wild card. Who would come out on top? I would lean Bills. I think Josh Allen. He's the best quarterback in football right now. I think our guy Bill Simmons called it before the season started. He kind of slowed down a little bit, but I think him and Drake May are going to be battling for that MVP. And with these past 3 weeks,
Whoa, wrong.
no, you don't think
Matt
so?
Stafford's gonna win the MVP this season.
Well, after they lose on Thursday Night Football to the Seahawks,
Oh, you're baking
think
that in,
I
huh?
think that stock dips a
Hey, hey,
little
don't
bit.
spoil.
No, I think this legacy game here would I would lean Bills. How about you?
I would also lean Bills, but what's really interesting to me in this game is the biggest weakness of the Ravens. Underrated weakness because everyone really focuses on Harbaugh's coaching and Lamar's injury slash just bad play in general. Is how bad this offensive line has been all season long. Just constant pressure in Lamar's face. He attempted, what was it, 13 passes on Sunday against Cincinnati. On four of those, he was sacked. On one of those, he threw a pick. On the eight completions, he threw for over 200 yards. So like he played a really good game for, especially compared to the last few games that he even played. So it's like, well, shoot, against this porous Bills front seven, if this offensive line can hold up, at least this game will be fun, right? Because the Ravens, if Lamar can get his get back and start playing good football, this is going to be Lamar Jackson against a bad defense and Josh Allen just playing awesome Josh Allen football. So this should be a fun, exciting game. I would still lean Bills just because I believe in Josh Allen and what they've been able to do more than I've seen from the Ravens this season. But at least I think if this was to be a matchup, I think that Lamar would play well, and this would be a fun game. It wouldn't be a classic Lamar what the hell game.
If King Henry could get the snowball turning into an avalanche these last 3 weeks as we move from January or from December into January, this is going to be a really fun game. And plus his Bills defense, they're god awful at stopping the run, and that's why I lost in fantasy this past week. And so, oh, obviously a huge revenge factor as well from last year. Mark Andrews, Mandrews 2 point conversion drop. That would be the huge highlight in this game. And so, yeah, this would be cinema.
For my last game, Laraib, I'm going back to the AFC. We didn't really prepare for this one, but I was looking at the matchups, and I think this would be a very interesting matchup. And I think you would agree as well. It's a playoff rematch from 2 years ago. The
No,
Jacksonville
no, no, no,
Jaguars
no,
and the
no.
Los Angeles Chargers. Laraib, the Jags have been balling recently. Ever since their bye, they've averaged over 36 points a game. And hey, these two teams played not too long ago, and the Jags dog walked, curb stomped the Chargers. But the Chargers have shown some heart the past few weeks, right? Beating the Chiefs last week, beating the Eagles the week before, and really just the defense coming along. Herbert, he's hurt, but he's still just playing through it like a warrior. And it's like, with this Harbaugh, they're getting the running game back a little bit with Amarian Hampton getting back into the fold, the Hampire, as some might call him. And I just think that you can never really. It'd be hard to count out Herbert in a spot like this, just because. Well, I'll leave that to you. But it's we remember the last time these two teams played in the playoffs, it was that crazy Jaguars down 27-0. Trevor Lawrence comes all the way back and beats them at home, and that was just one of the craziest wild card games we'd ever seen. So if we can get another crazy game like that between these two teams who've been playing really good ball, that sign me up for that.
I hate Trevor Lawrence with a passion. Even though I put this Jaguars team in my
He's
top
growing on
10
me.
midway through the season, and now here they are. They're most likely going to win their division and host a playoff game. And if the Chargers have to travel to Jacksonville, that would be a really tough matchup for them. I don't think this Chargers team can stack up to the way this Jacksonville unit has through the rushing attack, through their front seven, which has been really dominant the past couple of weeks. It would be a really uphill battle, especially with this Herbert injury. He has been throwing some wobbly passes. His left hand is broken. but he throws with his right hand, and
We
those
got to
balls
think like
are.
securing the ball and whipping that thing through, like that affects it a little bit.
If you're holding the ball like this, then you're getting ready to throw it. This hand is coming down
But it's a
now.
stabilizer, right? Like getting to where exactly you want it in your hand so you can push off that exact same way you do every time. But if this hand's interrupting it, maybe it's not exactly where you want. This is like what real quarterbacks know. Um, so I see why that would affect him, right? And especially these are big games, and they're finding ways to win. Credit to Harbaugh and the running game, but Herbert's doing his best to lose them. So that's what I guess it would make it fun for me, right? Because we both know the Jags would win this game, and seeing you try to explain it away, giving Herbert an excuse while also trying to
Oh, so when the
not
ball
give
goes
Trevor
through
Lawrence
Lad
credit.
McConkey's when the ball goes through Lad McConkey's hands, in the
Well, yeah,
run
when the ball
round.
comes out doing this motion, tip over tip, yeah, it's kind of like what?
Okay, so when I get paid millions of dollars to play receiver in the NFL, um, if the ball is coming at me sideways, I'm still gonna catch it because I played
If
in the
Lad
NFL.
catches it, if the O line wasn't hurt, if
If people did their jobs, if someone was wide open and caught the football that hit them in their hands, yes, I would expect that to happen and then for them to win.
sometimes, I mean, maybe he's throwing it too hard. I mean,
All
sometimes these
right,
things aren't a
and that is going to
coincidence.
wrap it up for our playoff matchups. But before we go, we are going to talk about Thursday night football. The battle for the NFC West ends here in Seattle. The Rams traveling to the Seahawks. The Rams favored by 1.5 points on the road, Lewis. And obviously, the big thing for this game is Devontae Adams is questionable with the hamstring.
Don't
Will
play.
he or will he not play?
Don't. I wouldn't play if I was Devontae. Not that the fact that like you do need this game. This is a huge game for playoff seeding for the number one seed in the NFC. Like this game is going to be huge, but this isn't the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that Lombardi Trophy.
Shout out, little baby.
And if you try to push through it early here and pretend like risk a bigger injury that could affect you in the long run, not worth it. Thursday night football, get that extra rest, right? And then get back ready for the stretch of the season when you can really start ramping up for the playoffs. That being said, for this game in particular, it would suck not having Devontae as that extra weapon. But I want to ask you something. What's been wrong with the Seattle offense? Because really, the past few weeks, I mean, even that first half against Atlanta, it was like, is it that they just can't run the ball? Anthony Bradford's just the worst player. Well, there's a few linemen that we love to mention a lot. Anthony Bradford's about to become one of those names. Obviously, Stone Forsythe is the gem of our show.
Anthony
Special shout out.
Bradford is trying his best to grab that mantle.
He, he's because he's not trying on the football field. Uh, because man, it's every other TikTok I see on when I open my phone is an Anthony Bradford looking at Sam Darnold on pass protection. Hey man, that's not the way you're supposed to be facing, right? But special shout out to Daniel Falele on the Ravens. I don't even know if I pronounced that right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, dang, him and Anthony Bradford can go bar for bar on bad tape, but no one will ever beat Stone Forsythe. That being said, Seattle offense has just been out of whack, right? It is mistletoe time for Sam Darnold. Just really hasn't put good. I mean, zero touchdowns against the Colts last week. Um, can't really run the ball. Their only really good weapon on the team is JSN, and a good disciplined defense will be able to at least throw five guys at them. But then who's going to beat you? Rashid Shaheed? Maybe. But Cooper
AJ
Cup's a glorified
Barner.
tight end at this point. Uh, AJ Barner, that dude, hey, he's nice. But he doesn't, I mean, it's that time for Sam Darnold. Time to really prove it. Time to step up in the pocket, make big plays. And I need to see it. He hasn't really beaten a lot of good teams this season. This is a spot against a good team where both teams really need it in Seattle, in front of those fans, in front of the 12. Do you even still call them the 12 anymore? Or is that over?
Oh, the still the 12s.
Does it
We
feel the
are still the
same?
12s.
Does it feel the
Obviously, when
same?
you rebrand to Lumen Field, it takes a little bit of the air out of my old
CenturyLink. That was just
CenturyLink.
boom.
But
Legion
you
of
know, that was a
boom.
different era. We are in a Mike McDonald era, and with that comes a new stadium, a new identity, a new high flying, hard hitting defense in what is I don't know if they have a nickname yet. But there will be one soon after they beat the brakes off of this Rams team. You are exactly right. There is something wrong with this Seahawks offense. They just quite can't put the button on it yet. I think it's not being able to run the ball effectively. But if there's anything that can be exposed for this Rams team, it is that sorry secondary. Now, Cam Kitchens has given the Seahawks team a scare in his last two seasons as a NFL pro, but I think Sam Darnold has a lot to prove in prime time, but he gets it done here. The Matt Stafford MVP noise just gets a tad quieter as this Rams offense really struggles here in Seattle. I think the Seahawks find a way to win a must-win game.
I'm leaning Rams in this one. I need to see Sam Darnold win a big game this season. He hasn't. I mean, what's the most impressive victory on their schedule?
The Texans win was huge.
Big win.
They got to beat nine. I mean
All
Brosmer.
right, hey, let's chill out right there. So I really do like this Seattle team. You know, when we did our top 10 teams a few weeks ago, I put Seattle at 2, and that's panned out pretty well so far, right? They have third, fourth best record in the league. The defense is awesome, but this is Big Dog, right? This is Sean McVay. This is the Rams, and until they can beat Big Dog, they can't be Big Dog. So I'm picking Big Dog. And whose house? Lumen Field. I'm picking the Rams.
And you have been outstanding in the picks the past 4 weeks. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick the Seahawks in this one. In a big spot, I think Sam Darnold, he comes to. Last time they played, he had 4 picks and they almost won that game. I think if he throws only 3 in this one, the Seahawks win. I'm going to go Seahawks 27-24.
You get that emote?
A steel curtain, by the way.
Hey, mistletoe Darnold. All right, Laraib, we're gonna go ahead and move into pop culture corner. Go ahead and take it away.
It Welcome to Dairy finished up this past Sunday, and if you have not seen it yet, you are entirely missing out. You and I talked about the first two, or the first episode for you, the first 2 episodes for me. Very little Pennywise, but when I tell you Bill Skarsgård and his performance as
How many
Pennywise,
episodes are there?
it's only 8 episodes, bro. It's only freaking 8 episodes. You've already seen one. You only need to watch 7 more. But I mean, we know his performance in It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. He only expanded on that, made it more great in the 8 hours of television that, well, maybe the 6 hours of television that he was on the screen for. Just outstanding. And I think season 2 and 3 are already locked in, and those are going to be just great watches as well. Huge shout out to all the kid performers in the show. I think they did a really good job. The show just was not going to work without their all outstanding performances, and then the rest of the cast, did what they needed to do in the big moments, and then let Pennywise take over when he needed to. And so season 2, season 3 on the way, and then big news: It 3, the movie, is also on the way as well. And so this It verse will only continue to expand. And I guess one thing we both can talk about is this HBO sale that might or may not happen with Netflix or Paramount, and the implications of that. These past couple of years, all the TV shows I've been watching on HBO, limited or running series, they have been some of the best shows I watch all season long or all year long. House of the Dragon, Task, The Pit, It, just so many great shows that they produce year round. And so if we see them go to another or be bought out by another company, I just hope that that doesn't take a hit in any way whatsoever, just because the just the level of content that they produce year round. I didn't even get to talk about industry. Season 4 comes out January 11th for that show. And so just a lot of great things that they're always pumping out year round. Oh, White Lotus, of course, another one. We're going to be talking
That's our
about that
baby.
whenever it comes out. And so just the amount of hits that they just produce year round. I just hope that doesn't take a hit once they go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very strange. Like, why did Warner Brothers need a sale in the first place? Like, the quality of their shows has always been the biggest thing, right? They smaller selection, but you stay for the quality. You stay because they have a bunch of classics that you can always turn back to that will always just be refreshing to watch, right? If you're a big Game of Thrones guy, Sopranos fan, things like that, you can always come back to really good movie selection as well. So very strange decision. If anything, I was rooting for Paramount in the war there to kind of make its way through just because Netflix really feels like it has just such a strong grasp on the streaming industry right now. And if you were to kind of disperse some between Paramount to give it a little more Paramount a little more juice, and it feels like maybe a two-headed monster. But now it's just like, why would you have anything besides Netflix? Maybe if you get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle, you can get some value that you don't get. But I mean, we're in the age now, Laraib, where it just, and what scares me too is if whenever Netflix completes this merger, with all the live sports, the things they're providing. They're gonna be like, oh, well, if you would like to pay for our services, clearly you're not paying for an HBO Max service anymore. If you want to start paying for our services, it's gonna be $40 a month. And what's stopping them? I mean, people are gonna be like, yeah, well, hey, I get a lot of value. Instead of paying for four streaming services, I'm only paying for one. So yeah, sure. And then you'll start to realize, 5 years ago, you paid for four streaming services and it was $40 a month. So it's what when does a frog know it's being boiled, right? We go low and slow, so it never realizes the water is getting hotter. That's how it feels like these streaming services and these industries that were once a very innovative, creative way to bring all these shows and movies to people's homes now feels like it's becoming worse and worse. And I don't blame people now for turning to pirating, right? Because what is the definition of piracy? It's taking something that is not yours. But if you're not taking anything, any actual physical thing from somebody, and you're just, oh, I'm just watching a movie on the internet, it's gonna go back away. It's not like I have it in my house at that point. It's not really pirating. It's just finding a way around the rules. So I don't blame people who do it, and I'm not gonna really point anyone who does do these things. Um, but it just seems like that this is a bad decision. But ultimately, what drives the world's money, and all I can hope for is great quality in shows, TVs, and pop culture as we go forward. So I gotta put my faith in Netflix and in the leaders at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, all you can do is, really hope the creatives find a way to create something that we all want to watch. And with this AI taking over slowly, Disney actually implemented today AI, and it's allowing users to use AI of their Disney characters and upload videos through that. And so that's also going to be some, headache as we move into the future. But you know what they say, time is a flat circle. There used to be a time where people would pay $200 a month for cable, and then something came along and snatched that away from them. And now their own greed has taken over that. And so we'll see, I guarantee we'll see something in the near future that is going to come over and take over everything that we have now. And we can only pray that it comes sooner rather than later.
Very optimistic way to look at it, Larab, and that is a great note to go ahead and for me to talk about the video game awards. Just give me just a moment because one of the best games I ever played in my entire life, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, won Game of the Year, and it caused I wouldn't say outrage online because everyone knew it was going to win Game of the Year beforehand, but I guess people were more disappointed at the dominance that it displayed. And damn, is it really gonna win? Is this game that I never gave a shot really that good? If I didn't play it, then clearly it's not that good because I have the best taste. It's that good, right? And because it's rational people, right? I'm not saying this is like a I didn't play the game. Like this game shouldn't have won this. This one shouldn't have won this. This it can't be that good, right? And some of those arguments I do buy, like RPG, right? It wasn't, I wouldn't have picked it. I thought KCD2 had probably a better strictly role playing game. Um, but I mean, to all those people, I just say Go fuck yourself. I mean, I don't know. It's legitimately one of the best games ever played, and I don't believe in giving out participation trophies. Oh, it won too much. Make a better game, then, huh? Make a better soundtrack. Make a better audio design. Direct a better game, because we just give out awards to the best players, right? Oh well, golly, Brandon Ingram's never won an MVP. He's not going to, right? It's just not how it works. You give it to the best player. So that was a lot of shade to BI for no reason. I just want to say congrats to Sandfall Interactive and the Claire Obscure and Expedition 33 team. Fantastic game. Beat it twice. Love it.
You know, entertainment for me has always been something that I will not let someone question what I like about it
Yeah.
at all. And so whenever these awards come out for the Oscars or for music, for movies, for TV shows, for video games, I could be the last person to give a damn about what award came out for one thing. Now, obviously, yes, it's a huge
It
thing
feels
where
validating. I'll say that.
100%, I agree with you on that point where it's like I really enjoyed this game and so many other people enjoyed the game. So many people enjoyed this movie, this TV show. Let's go ahead and give them their flowers. But I never got the point of being angry at something that
Mm-mm.
someone else likes that I didn't like. I like what I like and I'm going to go and enjoy it, but that doesn't mean I hate something else for doing something, for having so many other people enjoy it. Um, and I guess that's kind of just something that's come with internet culture as we get more and more online
You
and
had to
more
pick a
toxic.
side.
Yeah, you're either black or you're white. There can never be any gray area for anything anymore. But that's sort of, what the internet is now. You could say, dead internet theory. Do we just have, random AI spewing this hate, causing this divide?
We're not real.
Who knows? But I guess I let people enjoy what they enjoy, and I let myself enjoy what I enjoy.
All right, now that is a great end to the episode. We will be coming back on Thursday to break down week 16. That's right, week 16 of the NFL season. 3 weeks to go. Not a ton of playoff stakes up in the air, but seeding, things like that will come down, and I cannot wait for the NFL season. There's a chance, or for the playoffs, there's a chance we might end up at an NFL game this week, but we'll see. I'm not sitting in those nosebleeds, that's for sure. Laura, have you got anything else for us before we get out of here
No,
today?
this is the First and Goal podcast signing off.
Peace.